It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Hey guys, my name is Gloria and welcome back to my channel where I am gearing up for the spooky season. It is almost here and my boyfriend made the mistake of letting me go to Tesco with him and they had a cool purple sign. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to see how cool this purple actually is, but this is like the most glorious purple I've ever seen. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. So today I just want to do a very quick recap of the books I read in September, just to kind of wrap it up, because I won't be going into too much detail because I will be talking about a lot of these books in the videos that I'm filming for my big October celebration. If you don't know what that is, I've decided to attempt to post a spooky themed video to celebrate Halloween on every weekday in October, which is 22 videos. So I have not done the filming for all of that, but I do have enough to get started, and I have been reading all of these books because of course I couldn't do videos on books that I've already read because that would be easy and efficient. I had to make a goal and then look at my time scale and then make that goal impossible because that's just how I roll with things. So today I just want to go over some of those books and maybe entice you in to watch some of those videos if you're liking the books that are coming up. There's also, once I post this today, there will be still a few more hours to enter my international Instagram giveaway that has 3 Dorothy McCardle books. It's got bookmarks, it's got stickers, it's got jewelry, it's got cool things. Check it out on my Instagram and you might be in with a chance to win. I'll be announcing the winner on my Instagram at midnight, so check that out. So I really want to get through physical books, but unfortunately I was also sort of stuck into getting through the reviews that people asked me to do for my review blog. So most of those are generally e-versions, e-books, so most of it was e-versions, but for the next few weeks I will be going through my physical books as well. So the first book that I read, and I did do a review of this, so you can check out the video for that, is I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Mcnamara. It's true crime, it's about the Golden State Killer, made especially interesting because Mcnamara actually died before this book was published, before they named the Golden State Killer, but she actually gave him that moniker and brought him back into the spotlight. So this was just chilling and harrowing and terrifying because it's real, but her writing as well is really great. It builds great narrative for it, so you can check out the review for that. Next up, I read a very good short story collection called Screaming Creatures by Seanan Thompson. I was given this to review for my blog. I really liked it. The cover is great, first of all. The titular story, Screaming Creatures, is about a pandemic of pretty much insanity that takes over the world and people just start going crazy, and it's timely, I'll give you that. But he's a really great writer, and you should definitely check out some of his writing because the stories are unsettling and weird and they're very well written. Next up, I read this actually because I was very kindly invited by Murs from Harpies in the Trees to film a little short clip to be added into one of her videos. You can check that out up here or down below, I'll put it somewhere. And the book I picked, it had to be an autumn read. I didn't really have any in my library, so I bought This Dead Leaves by Keelan Patrick Burke. I mean, what a perfect cover for the season. I love his covers, and I think he does them himself as well. So this is just 9 stories that are all sort of set around Halloween. There's very creepy ones. He also has a massive list of recommended books at the back and also a load of recommended movies. I've seen most of those, but I don't think I've read even half of the books, so if I'm ever stuck for anything to read, which is unlikely, but I might pick that up and see how that goes, but quite good. The next book I read, I also saw this on Mer's channel on Harpies in the Trees. It's called Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach, probably ruining that name, but yeah, I saw this on her channel. I will be including this in a video. Another one that I saw on her channel was No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Neville. Those two books are going to be included in a video that I'm doing where I wanted to read recommendations from other booktubers. So of all the videos that I'm watching constantly, I do always say, I'll comment saying, oh, I'm gonna add that to my TBR, but while I probably add it to a list somewhere, I rarely get around to reading them, so I thought, why not just get around to reading the ones that you're actually really interested in reading. So I have a couple from Harpies in the Trees, I have a couple from other booktubers that are out there, so I'm looking forward to getting stuck into more of those. I still have a few to read because schedules aren't my thing, but those two books are very interesting, very different and very interesting, so I'll be talking about those. Next up was a physical book, and it was Crossroads by Laurel Hyder. I also have a video up about this, so you can check that out. Another great read from Hyder. I also have her debut novel, Whispers in the Dark. I remembered. Whispers in the Dark, which is also great. She writes great characters, so you can check out my review of that one. Next up that I read, and I just posted the review of this as well today, it was Ambrosia by Madison Wheatley, and this one was quite interesting. It is sort of a speculative fiction horror about a woman who has a lot of trauma and guilt and regret in her past, and she's also overweight and she hates the way she looks, and this is all tied into horrible things that are happening to her. And she comes across this gorgeous Adonis looking man who invites her to join the gym that he works at, and this place is called Mount Olympus. They're inventing a little energy drink called Ambrosia, and they whittle down their massive monthly bill so that she can start there, and she doesn't really leave, and she finds it very difficult to leave. Nobody wants her to leave, and eventually she realizes that she is addicted to this ambrosia, that she can't stop exercising, and there's something not quite right about this weird gym. I thought it was really interesting. The traumatizing things in her life and her past were dealt with really well. It deals with fat phobia and with just body image in general and people hating their bodies, and it does it in a really great way. And Wheatley's writing is very good. It's in first person, so you're very close to Crystal, the main character, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the spooks at the end as well. For the next one of my videos, I'm going to be doing a couple of videos in the month of October where I read sort of household names in horror and dark fiction, and sort of classics as well, where I feel like I should have read them, or I should have at least read some of these authors, but I just haven't, because I mentioned before that I started reading horror and I was only really reading Stephen King, and then when I started my review blog I was basically just reading what people asked me to review for them, which generally tends to be upcoming releases and books that are being released right now in this year. If you look on your Goodreads you can see the years that the books were released, and like almost all of mine are in a line at the top, and like there's very few down below. So I really should be reading some recommendations from Alex over at Hey Little Thrifter and getting some vintage horror. But I've picked out a few authors and a few writers that I really wanted to read. Two that aren't really related, but I'm sticking them in the same video, would be Dean Koontz and Clive Barker. So I did get a copy of The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker, and I also read his spooky children's story, which is called The Thief of Always. For Dean Koontz, the first book I read for him was called By the Light of the Moon, and the one that I'm still reading at the minute, I won't get it finished by the end of today, but it is called One Door Away from Heaven. So I just wanted to, it's weird because like I knew that Clive Barker wrote The Hellbound Heart and stuff. I have heard Dean Koontz's name everywhere. I've seen him associated with Stephen King a lot, and I know Stephen King kind of makes fun of him a bit. He's stuck a character in one of the new It movies, who is supposed to be a security guard at the mental hospital, or a nurse orderly, who gets distracted from his job because he's watching dog videos on his phone, and he's called Koontz, because Koontz absolutely loves dogs, and so do I, so you'd think we'd get along, and there are dogs in each of the stories that I've read of his. But yeah, I just wanted to check out these writers. They could be my next absolute favourite writer, who knows. I just wanted to check them out. I won't go into too much about them now, but you can check out my classics videos for that. I have a few others. Obviously I've only read like one Poe and H.P. Lovecraft. I've also got Ray Bradbury, and Sheridan Le Fanu is an Irish writer as well, so I've got a few things coming up for that. Another one for my review blog, which I will be putting up the review for that tomorrow, I think. It was called The Instrument by Ivan Radev, and it's sort of a mythological kind of story. It's about this guy who comes across this beautiful girl that he falls in love with, and she's playing this strange instrument, and he gets invited to her house and meets her father and brothers. But their family has this strange curse on them, and he's a music student, and they ask him to try and fix this instrument so that it will play a particular melody that they need to have in order to save their family. So it was very interesting. I'll have a review of that tomorrow. Very different. The last physical book, this has kind of been on my radar for a long time, but I finally decided to just get it because, again, possessions are my jam, is Come Closer by Sarah Gran. I might do an individual of this, but it's also, I want to do a video. My next Monday's video is going to be books that you can read in a day, so spooky books that are not very long. This one in particular, I really liked it. I'm writing about a possession at the minute, and I have been sort of struggling with different aspects of bringing the demon out and sort of filtering it in slowly instead of it being a big shock moment, and this book does it so well. It just creeps in there and it just gently drips into this woman's life. It's about a woman who lives with her husband. She has a great architect job, and she slowly starts to realize that things are feeling different for her. She's getting really annoyed at her husband. She's getting really pissed off. She's doing things that she would have never done before, and she's sort of messing with people, and things are happening that are supposedly done by her, but she doesn't remember them, and she doesn't remember doing them. But I think it's really well written and really creepy, so I'm gonna say a lot more about that. Next up was for my review blog. I shall have a review of this soon. It's the Easton Falls Massacre, Bigfoot's Revenge by Holly Ray Garcia and Ryan Prentice Garcia. This is a very short book as well, and it is about a town that a lot of hunters live in, and there is sort of a border between the people and this hidden group of a Bigfoot family, a Bigfoot tribe, and one of the Bigfoots crosses over the line, gets shot by a hunter, and I mean, it's called Bigfoot's Revenge, so it's bloody, it's gory, and it doesn't hold back any punches. Yeah, if you're looking for more Bigfoot stories out there, this is definitely one to check out. Next up is 666 Gable Way by Danny Lamia and Frederick H. Crook. This one really surprised me and I really enjoyed it, so I'm I'm excited to actually write the review of this. I might actually do a video of this as well. It's super witchy. It's about a woman in her 20s who's just lost her job, and she has some sort of latent telepathic powers. There you go. And she has just lost her job. Her boyfriend has broken up with her. She's been kicked out of her flat, so she has to go and live with her aunt, the old family home, which is at 666 Gable Way. And her aunt is a sham psychic. She runs seances and stuff out of her house, but her and her two friends who live there are very into the Victorian dress and very into witchy things, and she starts to realise that there's some strange things going on in this house. She starts to see ghosts around the place, and her aunt may be a little bit witchier than she first thought, but I really enjoyed that one, so I think I will do a full review on that. Last up for my review blog, I read Horrors and Wonders by Scott Hughes. This is another short story collection and a poem. I read, I think it was last year, I read his first collection, which was called The Last Book You'll Ever Read. He really likes green covers, but his writing is just superb. There's some great stories in this, great characters. Whenever he messaged me and asked if I would like to review this, I absolutely jumped at the chance because I really enjoy his writing. It's great. You should definitely check that one out. And the last few books are all by Irish writers because I am going to be doing a video in the next couple of weeks focused on, or putting a spotlight on, Irish horror. And while I have a few already that I've read, I recently did, I signed up this year for the Dublin Writers Festival, and it had to be moved online obviously, but there was a horror panel, and in that panel there was a writer called Chris Rush, and the books I read of his were Folklore and 13 Dead, and there was also Emma Ennis, and she wrote High Heels and Eulogies and Red Wine and Words, and I got to watch a great talk with them where they spoke about writing about horror, and it was great. And so I decided to read some of their stuff and do a whole video on Irish dark fiction, and for that as well I read Broken Mirrors by BookTube's own Marie McWilliams, who is from Belfast in Northern Ireland. So I have quite a selection of great writers from Ireland and Northern Ireland to spotlight in that video, and I am excited about that. So that was 20 books. That was 20 books and about 10 hours of sleep total for the month. But I still have a lot to read. I still have a lot to read from my videos. I have a few already done. I will also be, each Friday I've decided I will be uploading myself reading my own original short story. So I'm excited for that. So in 2 days you'll have a brand new story. But yeah, my October celebration kicks off tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for spending your time here. Really appreciate it. Thank you especially to the people who have taken the time to subscribe and like and comment. So I hope you are excited for my videos and discussions on those books. Those are nowhere near even half of all of the books that I will be talking about in the next few weeks, but I'm excited. It's a lot of spook and a lot of fun, and it's pretty good. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I shall see you in tomorrow's video.